Alright YouTube, welcome back. I have my AP700 lighting finally. I got it installed. I don't have the cables trimmed back or anything like that because I need to get another little clamp in case the screw gives way and the light fixture doesn't drop down in the water. So I want to get another secondary safety measure up there. I'm not going to do a demo on what the lights do. They're awesome. Really happy. I would go out and buy them again. So I just want to point out a couple of things that could be different, but by no means should deter you from getting this fixture. First of all, there's no instructions in the box at all. There's which I don't like, you have to go online to print up the instructions. And there is a cable to go to a PC, but that did nothing for me without instructions what to do. Still have never connected it. I was able to connect my laptop to the Wi-Fi connection on the unit, on the light, but still nothing, I wasn't able to program or anything. So I did get my son's iPad, download the app that way to control, which is very easy. So that part's done. The mounting, I do want to mention the mounting. So let me go up here, and this is not complete. It's just kind of hanging up there. I wanted to start the lights off and, you know, run them for a minute. So I'm definitely going to change this around a little bit. I wanted to point out that the top bolt, or the top thing that you see two silver things. The top one is the part that holds it into the ceiling. That's a two-piece thing, and there's a screw that comes with the kit that screws up either a screw into wood, or there's a wing nut that it closes, you thread the bolt into it, and you put it through a hole, and then it pops open and you screw it the rest of the way down, and it holds tightly to drywall. The screw that's with the hanging kit is not long enough for anything, because drywall is 1/2 inch or 5/8. Lath and plaster can go 5/8 all the way up to 1 inch, depending where you are in the, you know, what state you're in. You have different thickness of ceilings. So that screw that they have does not do anything. The bolt with the wing nut that I was talking about, that kind of pops open and grabs after it goes above the drywall, it pops open. So that one, the head of the bolt is too big to go into that when you take that thing apart right there. So what I had to do is use my Dremel and grind down the head of the bolt, which was a big inconvenience. So the bolt size is wrong on that, in my opinion. And so anyways, I put a longer screw in. Well, I put the holes in thinking I'm going to use the wing nut that pops open on both holes, so that's why there's larger holes there. And that didn't work because right above my tank, dead center, is truss, which is just a 2x4 that runs from wall to wall in the garage. So therefore I had to use, after putting the holes in, I hit wood, and so then I used screws, but I went in with a longer screw. I think I went with like a 2.5 inch screw. Anyways, so that worked, and I got it hanging. I got to do something with the cable, the power line there, and the other cables. Let me show you one more thing. There is let me go to the other side. You can't see it from here. Bear with me. Up here, it's pretty cool. It doesn't let the light come down, but the light, if you pull that cable through that hole, it can go up, but it's really hard to make it come back down. Once you have to, it's a two-part section right there. You have to loosen it for it to actually come back down. So it's really cool. It holds it up there and everything. And then what I'm going to do is take that cable, this piece, cut it down a little bit and bolt it to something where I can bolt it to the ceiling. So let's say that mechanism right there breaks loose for some reason. I've got a second one that will hold the cable, and the thing will swing. You know, if I have it like an inch away from it, it'll swing, but you know, I'll have one there and I'll have one on this side, so at least it should catch it before that thing, expensive thing, drops in the water. But other than that, it's pretty cool, or it's really cool, and I definitely would buy it. You know, recommend buying it too, or recommend for anyone to buy one if they like this kind of a light, because this thing is awesome. The programming is a little bit difficult when you first try to get your mind around it, but then after looking at it for a while, it's pretty involved, and it's pretty cool. You can set a bunch of different time points where the light changes, you know, from blue to more of a daylight color, which is pretty cool. And then it has the lunar settings where, you know, I had a Digital Aquatics lunar bulbs and stuff, little LEDs, and you couldn't set it. It's just, you know, it just comes on at night and it's one setting, whatever intensity you put it at, but that's it. You can't really set it to the actual moon's settings. This one, I believe, you know, once you start it on a new moon, it'll keep track of it. When it's full moon outside, it's a full moon in your tank, which is a lot better. I like that part, if I'm correct. I think that's how it's you can set it up. Not quite sure on that, but correct me if I'm wrong on the comments. Oh, and if you noticed this earlier, this little grate, it was a temporary thing to keep my fish out of there. Last night, somehow it dropped off. It's been there for weeks, and somehow it dropped off. One of the fish, of course, went through the grate because this tank has high flow. I've got to find something else that'll work for that. So it went through the grate. It was in here in the chamber right there with the white tube, and then I spooked him, and he's actually swam over into the filter sock, but on the opposite side. And the filter sock a few minutes ago collected him, and then I just lifted this up, took the filter sock out of there. You can kind of see it, and he's swimming happily inside there. So then I just dumped the water and the fish back into the tank, and he was unharmed. I think small fish can fit through a 2-inch drain. That's a good thing, without getting stuck. All right. So other than that, it's pretty cool. I've never had a light this nice before in my tank. I've always had fish only with live rock. I've never had any real corals other than a couple mushrooms and a pulsating xenia. So in a couple months, I'm gonna start getting the corals going. First, I'm gonna get all my fish, and then once I get a stable system and my parameters are correct, then I'll what I need for corals, then I'll pursue that and get this thing stocked finally and learn how to take care of corals. So this is it. It's got a nice shimmer. It's not even full intensity or anything, which is really cool. I have it on the bright white right now. I don't have any of the actinic. So I'm thinking, if anyone knows, please comment on this idea. Back up here, I'm going to hang one more light if people recommend it. It's just going to be a black light, which is UV. This light will put out purple, but I don't think it's UV. But it might be. So I'm thinking just a straight black light, you know, one of those ones that with any kind of fluorescent, it makes it glow. So I'm thinking once I get corals, I think that's how I'll make them pop, because I do like more of a daylight color tone, and I don't want it all actinic, completely blue, because that doesn't film well with the camera. It kind of gets my eyes all bugged out and whatnot, so I kind of don't like the actinic look that much. So anyways, here's the tank with the light. Catch you guys in the next video.